Mat Pilates. Amazing. If we've never met before, I am Dom. If you would like to grab a few props for class today, the only thing you're super going to need is a blanket. And I shouldn't say super because if you don't have one, it's not a big deal. A hand towel is fine as well. We are going to be using it for a couple different assists for class, which is always super fun and exciting, I think. Class, as always, is a bit of a blueprint. So if there's anything that I'm offering that isn't working for you, I do my best to whip through different modifications as quickly as I can, because really this class is about you. I think that's it. I think that's everything. So grab your hand towel if you're using it. We're going to meet lying on our backs. And if you already have your blanket or your towel, just so that it's ready for us, you're going to take it and turn it into whatever version of like a square or rectangle you can, and you're just going to roll it up. We're going to make it into like a little blanket sausage, and our blanket sausage is going to be available for lots of fun things. Before we do that, though, let's meet lying on our backs. Let's bring our knees into our chest and just give ourselves a little rock and roll across our backs. If you would like to take a nice big breath in through the nose, if that's accessible to you, please feel free. And exhale, sigh it out through your mouth. Let's do that again. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. As you're rocking and rolling, let's take our legs and let them melt over to the right side of our mats or whatever space you're practicing on today. If you'd like to take the left arm, reach it up overhead or bend your elbow like a cactus, you totally can. Whatever is going to work best for you. Breathing it in here. Breathing it out. Then we're going to take those legs, bring them up through center, give yourself another rock and roll moment, and then let's take the legs all the way to the other side. Over to the left they go. Right arm can come up overhead, right elbow can bend. Now again, if you feel like you want to have a bit of music, a little bit of motivation while we're practicing together today, please feel free to stick on some tunes. Whatever feels like it's going to work for you. I can't put music on in the form that we're taking class right now because they will shut me down. Copyright issues. Although I think that's really good, right? We want to support music. One more time, give yourself a nice rock and roll. And then you're gently going to rock yourself over to one side. Bring yourself up just enough to grab your blanket sausage. So once you have your sausage, you're going to take it. We're going to lie down, but I just want you to think about where you would sort of like have a towel if you were drying yourself off with a towel, sort of around the base of your shoulder blades. That's where the towel or your blanket sausage or whatever you're using is going to go behind your backs. So taking a moment with that there, planting your feet on the floor. Now we're going to do our best to have as much of like a home base. I want to refer to it as a home base with our pelvis, where your hip bones and your pubic bone are nice and flat. They're sort of level with each other. And in doing that, it means you're going to have a little ladybug house. And that ladybug house is a reflection of your spine. Yeah, your spinal curvature, not necessarily like the flesh around us. And so starting to cultivate a Pilates breath here together, we're going to inhale through the nose into the backs and sides of the ribs. And as we exhale out through our mouths, we're going to blow away from us. Inhale through the nose into the backs and sides of the ribs. And exhaling out through our mouths like we're blowing something away from us. Now, every time you inhale, we're expanding through 3 dimensions, or the full dimensions, I should say, of our rib cage. Yeah? So we're trying not to just breathe up into our chest. You want to breathe into the towel behind you. And as you breathe out, our rib cage is drawing down. Now with your pelvis, as you inhale, we're thinking about our pelvic floor sort of melting like a pancake down towards the base of our torso. And then as you exhale, that pancake is drawing up. And the reason I say pancake is because it's a whole like circumference. Yeah, it's not just like a tiny milkshake straw or blueberry shape, although those are all really great cues. They're sort of narrow. And we want to think about our pelvic floor in its full capacity so that as we exhale, as we draw up, we're working that whole area. Yeah, not just squeezing in one part. We're going to take our hands, interlace our fingers behind our head, inhaling to look up at the ceiling. Let your head be heavy in your hands. As you breathe out, nod your chin, curl up, slide your rib cage as you curl up and look between those thighs. Inhale to lengthen back in space. And then exhale, nod your chin, slide through those ribs, curl up. So few here to start here, just to sort of work out what's happening in our bodies. First little bit of business is that you are working over this blanket sausage, yeah? So you will have the opportunity to take a little bit of extension, a little bit of opening up, which I'm hoping feels quite nice. Obviously, the thicker that your shape is that you've created for yourself, the more extension you're gonna have. Next little bit of business is that as we curl, I want to make sure we're not pushing our chins out and looking up at the ceiling. Head is staying nice and heavy in our hands, and it's the work is happening because our rib cage and our spine are moving, and that is what gives us the leverage to curl up. Inhale to lengthen back, opening up through the chest, and then exhale, the rib cage closes. Next little bit of housekeeping as we're opening and closing here is your curl happens on your breath out. Inhale to go back in space, exhale to curl. Please be mindful you're not holding your breath at the top here. That's not going to do nice things for our abdomen. Inhale to lengthen back. Exhale to curl it up. Next little bit of housekeeping. As you curl, notice if your pelvis scoops underneath you and your glutes squeeze. While those are definitely practices we can engage in a little bit later on, for this first little chunk of time together, I would like that to stay very level. And so when you're going to breathe out, when you're thinking pelvic floor up, you're going to think wide across that low belly space. 2 more here, friends. One more time. You're going to curl up. You're going to hold it here. So holding at the top, give your head a little wiggle in your hands. Make sure your chin is nice and soft, and then curling up with the work of your ribs. Keeping that pelvis nice and stable. We're going to lift up our right toes so your right heel is connected to the floor. As you breathe out, can you slide the right heel away from you? Nothing changes through your pelvis or your abs. Inhale to pull that right leg in. You're going to move it again, please. As you breathe out. Now that sounds like it shouldn't be a big deal, right? We're just sliding the leg, whatever. But it's not whatever. As you're sliding that right leg, nothing in your pelvis is changing, which means you have to start to fire really, really deep into that low belly to make sure that that leg can move independent of anything else moving. We're going for 3. You're holding your ab curl the whole entire time. Inhale to pull it in. We're going for 2. Slide it up. Pull that leg in. We have 1 more here. Exhale, reach. Pull the leg in, lower the right toes down. Inhale, upper body goes over your sausage. Exhale to curl it up. Left toes are going to lift, getting nice and light through that left heel. Notice if your hips are balanced. Make sure they're staying nice and level here. Taking a breath in as you breathe out, slide the left leg away. Nothing changes through your hips, right? Nothing changes in balance. Nothing changes in shape. Inhale to pull that leg in. As you breathe out, can you keep your pelvis totally balanced as you slide the leg away and nothing changes through your torso? It doesn't look like a huge thing, but there's so much stabilizing happening here. So good for support in your low back, for support across your hips. 3 more here, please, friends. Let's go for 3. Pull that leg in space. Let's go for 2. 1 more time. I'm shaking. Last one. Pull the leg in, lower down, take a little break. Inhale back. Exhale to stay. All right, this time we're going to take that shape of our pelvis and we're going to change it a little bit. So without using your glutes, thinking about little suspenders from ribs to hips, we're going to take our breath in, and as we breathe out, can you start to scoop a little bit through your low belly? Not a ton. I don't want you to press your backs into the floor. I just want like a little tiny bit of a scoop here. So our hips are drawing to the outside of our waist. Our ribs are drawing down to the outside of our waist. We're hollowing through our belly and we're thinking flat, not like fashion flat. We're thinking like anatomical flat. So no bubbling up through the belly button. We're trying to smooth that space out. Letting your head be heavy in your hands. Remember, you have a little bit of a hollowing here now. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, curl yourself up. But we're not trying to push our low backs to the floor. We're scooping. Can you keep scooping? I'm already shaking. Can we keep scooping? Can we roll up to our toes? Now notice as you've done that, if you've lost your little baby scoop in those abs, if it makes sense, can you lift 1 leg up to a tabletop? Maybe you lift a second leg up to a tabletop. And as you've done this, notice if anything changed in your belly. Yes, there might be a little bit of bubbling. That's fine, as long as it's not a push up, yeah? Whew. little scoop. I'm already shaking. Inhale. Now, as your body goes back over your blanket sausage, keep scooping that low belly, and then exhale, scoop it, and the scoop gives you leverage to curl up. I'm going to drop my toes down because I'm never going to be able to talk through this with my legs up. Exhale, scoop. And that goes for all of us, right? If there's a version, like maybe bringing your toes down, really concentrating on your scoop and enjoying going over and up with your upper body, maybe that gives you the most experience in your abs. So that's really what we're doing in our time together, is we're constantly playing to see, where do I feel my abs working the most? Inhale to take it back. Maybe your legs are lifted. Holy moly. Exhale, scoop. We're going for 4. We're going for 3. Keep scooping that low belly as you curl it up. Let's go for 2. Exhale, squeeze. Can you hear the vibration? I'm not making it up. Exhale up. Now, you're going to hold your curl again. Instead of sliding our foot on the floor, maybe you reach your right leg away from you. Inhale, pull that right leg in. Maybe now your left leg reaches away from you. Now, can we take the information that we learned when we were sliding our foot along the floor and bring it up here now? So nothing changes through our pelvis. Our hips are staying completely nice and level. As we reach our leg, we're zipping up through that thigh. As we reach our legs, we're not changing anything from weight distribution. Yeah, our hips are staying totally level. We're keeping that idea of a little shallow scoop through the low belly, so there's a nice opening through our hips, and you're just holding your abs here. Now, options, you could have your upper body down and just be reaching through those legs. You could have your feet down on the floor again and do the sliding version if that feels better for you. Or you could do a whole bunch on one side, a whole bunch on the other. We have 4 more per leg here, please. Exhale to reach away. Inhale to pull it in. Exhale, reach away. Every time we work, we're thinking about scooping and hollowing through that belly. That's 3. 2 more each leg, please, for 2. Pull it in, reach away, 2. 1 more time. Remember that low belly. If you look at it, that fleshy space, pubic bone to belly button, that's what we're hollowing here. Hold it here. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Can you squeeze? Maybe you can reach both legs away from you for 10, for 9. And as you do that, scoop and hollow. Now, they could be high. They could be low. Wherever you can keep the integrity of your scoop. Last one. Bring it in. Take a little break. Give yourself a little massage across your back. Take a nice big breath in through your nose. Exhale, let's sigh it out. Okay, we're totally not done. It's getting spicy. Yeah, we're feeling all of the really delicious, yummy ab stuff happening here, I hope. Okay, feet planted on our floor. Again, let's release our pelvis back to that nice neutral to start, or home base to start. Hip bones and pubic bone are level. Hands are going to come behind our head. We're going to take that breath in, and then as we breathe out, can we find a bigger version of that scoop now? So no glutes. We're still thinking the movement of our pelvis. As we breathe out, we're hollowing the belly. So now your low back is trying to scoop and leave a little bit of awareness into the floor behind you. Again, we're not pushing down. We're not popping up. We're thinking about hollowing and scooping here. Keep this going. As we breathe out, we're rolling up to our toes. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to lift just your left leg up and then pause. Now, if you want to keep it at a little more of a supported space, this is a great way. This is a great home base for support. If everything is feeling really lovely, there's always the option of bringing the right leg up. But if you're only going to lift one leg, let it be the left leg. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, nod your chin, curl up to center. Whoa, Nelly, feeling so many ab experiences already. Now, we're going to take our left hand, reach your left arm up to the ceiling, and then place your left palm right in the middle meaty part of your right thigh so that you have some contact there. Now, maybe that right thigh is lifted. Maybe that right thigh is on the floor. Can you make sure your pelvis is nice and level here? You're going to inhale to take your body up and back in space. Then as you exhale, curl up and over to the right. And as you do so, press your hand into your thigh. Inhale, lengthen back. As you go back, you might lose contact. That's fine. But as you exhale, push that hand through as you curl up. And you're leading from the back of the left armpit. Yeah. We have that moment where we go over our blanket sausage and then exhale, curl up and press. All of the integrity of the things we've been working on still existing here. That means the pelvis stays nice and level. That scoop and hollow through the low belly, keeping your head heavy in your hands. Exhale. Now, if it makes sense in your body, can you add a reach of that left leg? Inhale to pull it in. Exhale, up and over. Woo-hoo. Getting spicy. Now remember that right leg could be lifted. I'm going to keep my right toes down because that's what my body needs from me today. And we're trying to find this relationship of a scoop where we're not resting on the tip of our right shoulder blade, yeah? We're able to curl up so much that we sort of hover off of our blanket sausage for a minute. How's your scoop doing? I definitely let mine go and had to think about it. Let's go for 3. Let's go for 2. Curl it up. One more time. We're going to curl up. We're going to pause. Hold it wherever you are. Can you squeeze? Push your left hand to your right thigh. Scoop your belly. Maybe reach your left leg. Little pulses up to that right oblique for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one. Pull it in. Ooh. Nice big breath in. Nice breath out. We're not done. Feet are planted on the floor. Hands interlaced behind your head. Taking that extension. Now, if you hate this blanket sausage business, take it away. Yeah, you definitely don't need to have it here if you're not loving it. Taking an inhale as you breathe out, scoop through that low belly. Low back pressing down scooping back towards the floor. Ribs are drawing down. Hands supported in your hands. And then as you breathe out, curl it up. This time, once we've established that nice scoopy home base, we're going to lift our right leg up to a tabletop. Now, if this feels reasonable, you can stay here. You could come up to your left toes, or you could lift that left leg as well. Yeah, I'm going to keep my left toes down. Let's all reach our right arm up to the ceiling, and then this time, right hand is going to press into that left thigh. As we inhale, we take it back in space. As we exhale, we curl up and we press, and we curl up towards the outer left knee. As you inhale, you might lose contact with that thigh as you lengthen. That's fine. But as you exhale, press into it as you curl up. Inhale, release the tension on the arm and the thigh, and then exhale, press into it. And it's like you're trying to push your hand right through your thigh. Inhale back, and then exhale to curl. Inhale, lengthen it back. Remember, this leg could be in a table. Exhale, curl. As we're working here, if you would like to add that extension of the right leg, you can. Inhale to pull it in and back, and exhale to curl up and reach. Inhale back. Exhale, curl and reach. So as we are working here, we're trying to build the intensity every time you curl up, every time you go down. The inhale is not a break. The inhale is maintaining tension. And then as we exhale, we add tension on top. Let's go for 4. Exhale, curl up and over. We're trying to get that left shoulder tip just to hover, just to take a little like, ooh, roller coaster ride off of that sausage. That I struggled here. For 3. Working so hard. We got it here, team. For 2. One more time. Exhale, curl up. Find your hold, whatever version works for you. Press the hand into the thigh. Curl up, little pulses up to the left. For 8. 7. The leg could be table. The leg could be planted. For 4. For 3. For 2. Last one. Bring it in. Inhale it in here. Exhale it out. All right, we have one more grand finale here. Lots of abs this morning, yeah? Whoop, 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 or afternoon or evening or whenever you're watching this. All right, here we go. Hands are going to interlace behind your head. Letting our pelvis start nice and neutral or nice and home base. And then as we breathe out, we're going to use the work deep inside our abdomen to scoop, not our glutes. Our abdomen scoops us down. Rib cage draws down. We're thinking wide across pelvis, wide across belly button. Taking a breath in here as you breathe out. If you're finding your flexion, you're curling up. If it's reasonable, maybe rolling up to the toes. If that's reasonable, maybe lifting your legs up to a table. Breathe it in here. As you breathe out, we're going to reach your legs away from you. Let's just do both right out of the gate. Inhale to pull in, and then exhale to reach. Now, if this is not reasonable, you can do one leg at a time for sure. If 2 legs are reasonable and this is able to still keep your home base of your belly scooping, you're going to stay upright, but you're going to twist up and over to the right as your legs go long. Find center, but don't lengthen back, and then up and over to the left. So your body is doing actually quite a small but very serious movement here. Up and over. If you're working a one leg scenario, it's just one leg. You would pull it in and then you do the other leg. We have one more to each side. Pull it in, up and over. Find center. Can you keep your curl at center? Can you reach your legs as long as makes sense for you as low to the floor? If this is feeling amazing, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Hold yourself here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull it in. Take a nice big breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Let's rock and roll and bring ourselves up. Serious business. My abs are on fire. I hope your abs are on fire too. Okay, let's flip ourselves over onto our bellies. It already feels kind of good, eh? To like have a bit of a stretch through our tum-tum there. So we're going to work into some back chain stuff through our body, which is going to be quite nice if you've been sitting a lot. It's going to give us a nice opening. So we're going to plant our hands down about mat distance apart, please. We're going to open our legs mat distance apart as well. And we're going to bring our bodies down. I'm going to, pardon me, sneeze. So little bits of housekeeping right out of the gate. With your legs mat distance apart, can you externally rotate them? So have them so that your knees are looking away from each other. Your quads are zipped up. Your belly is on here. And we're trying to find more pubic bone. So that's that little scoop we were just working on. Fingertips are spread nice and wide. And we're trying to hug our hands down in space. Take a breath in to be here. Take a breath out to be here. Now your heads are going to come all the way down. If they don't love being all the way down, you can also grab your little sausage and let your forehead rest on it. Keeping all these active points. As you inhale, can we bring our shoulder blades onto our backs? Can we do a little roll of the nose forward? I'm going to move this out of the way because you're never going to hear me otherwise. Little roll of the nose forward. And then we're just going to lengthen out and up as far as you can go, still keeping your elbows on the floor. Keep breathing, little bits of housekeeping at the top here. Can we press our hands into the floor? Can we hug our elbows down? Can we bring the shoulder blades onto the back, reaching through those legs and trying to scoop? And your legs are super on here, yeah? Like turn on those leg muscles. Opening through those collarbones, take one more breath in. And then as you breathe out, drag your torso forward in space as you find the floor. Let your shoulders relax. Inhale, shoulder blades on your back. Press the hands, little head nod forward. As you breathe out, shine your heart out as you reach up, only going as high as you can. Keep your elbows down, and you're still trying to find pubic bone to the floor here. Inhale to get nice and long, and then exhale, draw your rib cage in towards you as you melt down in space. Yeah, so we're not pushing our ribs into the floor. At the bottom, inhale, shoulder blades on the back, little head nod forward, active arms, upper body. As you breathe out, little head nod forward, lengthening your heart out and up. Taking an inhale at the top here, and then exhale to lower down. Two more like this, please. Inhale to lengthen out and up. Exhale. Now maybe at the top here, you take your inhale and hover your hands just to see if you can hold your torso. Put them back down as you lower your torso to the floor. One more time. Inhale, shoulder blades back, legs active, little head nod forward. As you breathe out, shine your chest out and up, elbows stay on the floor. Maybe as you inhale, lift those hands to hover. Feel the back chain of your body working here, right? Right in between the shoulder blades. And then lower yourself down in space. Take a little break. So we want to target right across where a heart rate monitor would sit, or like the line below the tips of our shoulder blades / in between our shoulder blades is working here. Okay, let's add on. Reaching through those legs, turning on those like deep, 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 all those little home base notes. Feeling your hands pressing down, hugging your hands down to the floor. Reaching through those legs, glutes on, low belly active. As we inhale, shoulder blades on the back, little head nod forward. As we breathe out, you're going to lift up to that height we were working on before. Can you give your hands that little hover again and make sure you can still feel all of the work that you did to get up here, yeah? And then keep the tension you're feeling, just place the hands back down. Now, keep the integrity of all of your work. You're slowly going to start to press your torso up. Now, Full disclosure, I have a pretty bendy back, so I can reach up pretty high. So we're only going as high as you can keep all of the work that you just created for yourself. Take a breath in here to get nice and long, and then pull yourself forward in space as you lower all the way back down. Now remember, your legs are on this whole time. They're glued to the floor. Take an inhale at the bottom, shoulder blades on your back, hands, elbows pushing down, little head nod forward. As you breathe out, come only up as high as your elbows stay on the floor. Now, can you keep your upper body where it is? Keep your shoulder blades wide or collarbones wide. You're going to lift your hands to hover. Make sure you can stay exactly as you are. Lower your hands back down. Feel all the openness from away from your shoulders and ears. And then you're going to push yourself up. Now you're using your back to do this. Your hands are sort of like kind of there to support you, but most of this is your back. Feel the work however high you are. Glutes are on like cray, and then pull yourself down in space as you lower. One more time here, friends. Shoulder blades on your back, little head nod forward, all the housekeeping. Bring yourself up only as high as your elbows are still on the floor. Now keep tops of the shoulders wide, keep those legs active. Lift your hands to hover. Can you still feel all that work in your back? Don't push your ribs into the floor, that's cheating. Hands come down, still feel your back muscles. Now, can you keep your back muscles on as you float your torso up? But it's not really a float because your legs and your body are working so hard. Take one more breath in here and then pull yourself down to the floor. Nice job. Turn one cheek if you'd like. You could also lift yourself up and back and take a shell stretch if you'd like. Breathing in. Breathing it out. Nice job, team. Let's bring ourselves all the way up in space. Now, please feel free to grab your blanket sausage again, if you would like to, for your knees, because we're going to come up and do a little bit of kneeling stuff. So it's going to lengthen back out. Now, this is sort of my new favorite series for lateral flexion, which just means side bending. Because I just feel like this is a nice little transition here. A lot of bang for your buck here. So I'm going to kneel down nice and solid on my left shin. And my right leg is going to come out. Now, if you can, it's really awkward through your hip and your ankle. I totally get it. But if you can you really plant down through that right foot so your toes are pointing forward? And can we push down through that big toe, zip up through our thigh, and fire our glutes? So much stability happening here through the foundation of our legs. Let's just go for a nice side bend. So you can take your left hand and it can just slide down your leg. Or if you'd like to find the floor, go for a bit of a side stretch there. And then on your way up, can we feel that top side of the waist sort of have to click in like, oh, now I'm upright again in space. Let's counter that. Lift your left arm up. Take your side bend over to the right. Reaching the arm up. And then little side bend over. Now, I apologize. It's pretty shadowy today in here. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. But these videos live on YouTube and on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram and you're finding it's a little distracting, it's a lot better over on YouTube. Little side bend over. Bring yourself up. Notice there's a moment where your waist has to kick in for you here. Side bend over to the right. All right, let's bring ourselves upright. Let's cross our arms over our chest. Let's, again, really root down through our feet. Zip up through your thighs. Fire your glutes. Let's keep this small to start. You're going to inhale, lift your body up and over in a little arc over to the left. And then as you breathe out, consciously think about the right rib cage sliding to meet the right hip and push down in your right foot to bring you up. Inhale, think up and over with the left side waist. Now keep pressing into the floor with your right foot. As you breathe out, right foot, right waist, bring you up in space. Now, as we continue on here, it's totally user's choice how far over you go, because the further over you go, the more you have to curl back up. So as you're doing this, consider the up arc and then the over, and then just see how far you go. Yeah, but keep pushing that right foot into the floor. It's so key. It's going to make a huge difference here for you. 2 more. If you'd like to up the ante, you could always reach your arms long. That is not a possibility for me today. 1 more time. You're going to reach up and over, and then you're only going to come up about halfway. Freeze. Push the right foot into the floor. Fire through your glutes. Zip through your thighs. Arms could be crisscross. You could have one arm, 2 arm, wherever you want to be for 10, for 9. They could be around your waist. 8, 7, 6, 5, push that foot down. 4, shoulders wide. 3, glutes are on. 2, last one, right sideways brings you up. Give yourself a little boogie, a little shake it off. And then we're gonna go all the way over again. So this time you are gonna plant weight on your left hand. And I will give you options as well. This is quite a lot of lateral flexion for your torso. And so if your shoulders, if your wrists, if your hands don't love weight bearing here, you can come all the way down onto your forearm. You could come all the way to lying down as well. So pick whatever version is going to make sense for you. The legs will be the same no matter what. I'm going to come up onto my hands. I'm going to think about, and we're all going to think about pushing the floor away with whatever arm you have. We're going to think about that top hip really reaching and that top hip spiraling forward. So it's going to be tempting to let the top hip draw back. Bring the top hip forward so it stacks on top of the bottom. Keep pushing the floor away. Collarbones wide, ribs are in. Arm can be up, gaze forward, down, wherever feels good for you. All right, we're nice and heavy on our base of support. So heavy that that top leg, that right leg can just float up hip height. Inhale to lower it down. Isn't that nice how that just casually floats up like that? Lift it up. Inhaling it down. And then exhale to lift. Now, I have stuff happening in my neck, so I'm going to look down towards the floor. Now, as we're working here, as that top leg lifts, notice the temptation for the hips to move and do funky things. Can we keep the hips really nice and stacked on top of each other? I'm already on fire. It's already happening. Lift it up. Lower to tap. And then exhale to lift. Now the descent is just as important here as the lift. So can we give it a nice slow lower down and a nice slow calm lift up? So your muscles have to work the entire time. They never stop working. Lower down. You're welcome to experiment with a baby bend in the knee, but if it's possible to fully straighten the leg and fully zip up, please feel free to do so. Now that bottom arm, can you make sure your muscles are firing here? Yeah. So the arm isn't just lazy. We're not just sitting in our joint. We want to make sure the muscles are squeezing here. It's going to give a lot more bang for your buck and support for your elbow. Let's go for 2. It's not over yet. Last one, flex your foot. Can you pull your leg forward so it's in like a 90-90 situation? And then maybe point your toes as you reach your leg back. Or maybe you point your toes to pull the leg in. And then flex your leg to reach it out and back. Up to you. Now, when the leg comes in, can we do our best to keep it parallel like a plate could balance on that thigh? And as you reach it back, it's going up and a backwards diagonal. Oh my God, I'm on fire. Reach it up and back. Ribs are in, belly is stable. Remember, your bottom arm is not taking a break. Squeeze all the muscles in that arm. We're going for 3. Flex your foot, reach it back. We're going for 2. One more time. We know there's a grand finale here. I'm sweating too. We've got it. Let's pulse that leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Whew. If you were looking at me while we did that, I had a really gorgeous face moment. You always rewind and go back. You know it's real, right? When like we're all making the faces. All right, let's give our hips a little boogie woogie. And then we're going to the other side. So actually, let's grab some water. She's like panting over here. My little pineapple. Okay. All right, round 2, fresh as a daisy, like nothing even happened. We are excited. I'm rooting down in my right leg, and I'm trying to stack my weight right on top there. Left foot is connected to the floor. And again, I know it's really awkward through the hip and probably through your ankle as well, but good to work in different ranges. Yeah, and build strength in different ranges. If you can, turn those toes as forward as possible. Plant down through that foot, especially through that big toe, and then zip up through your thighs. Fire up through your glutes. My glutes are like spasming. Is anyone else getting that right now? They're like, no, we're doing it again. And I'm like, yeah, we're doing it again. Okay, so we're nice and supported here. Let's go for a few just kind of casual side bends, and then we'll add on. So take your time. Maybe the right hand just slides down the leg as you take the side bend over. And then you can bring yourself up and just notice on the way up that the left side of the waist now is doing a lot of work to bring you there. Side bend over, and then maybe we ching, 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 ching. Pull ourselves up. Let's do one more, nice and smooth. Planting through that foot, bringing ourselves up. Okay, let's take those arms. You can cross them across your chest if you'd like. They could also go around your waist or your hips. Let's go this way with my hands. Inhaling up, exhaling to really plant down through that left foot, zip up through your thighs, fire your glutes even if they're shaking, even mine are. You're gonna take a little side bend first, a little side bend up and over. Now notice my hips stay planted, plant through your foot, zip through your thigh, find that left side waist to bring you up. Keep it small to start so that you can really feel and control what's going on, yeah? Lengthening up and then over as we take that little side bend, and then exhale, bringing yourself up. Let's do one more like that, just keeping it really nice and slow and controlled. Finding that low belly as well, that pancake pelvic floor to bring you up in space. Now, if it feels reasonable to take it a little further, if you can still keep that left foot planted, left thigh on, glutes on, and then push into that foot, find your obliques to bring you up, take it a little bit wider, take it a little bit deeper, take it a little bit further. Exhale. My legs are vibrating. If yours are too, I'm with you. It does not make this task easier. Two more. Inhaling over. Exhale, push, bring yourself up. One more time. This is the guy. Remember, your arms could be long here. I got to keep mine in. We're going to come up halfway. Now freeze. Maybe you keep your arms at your chest. Plant through that foot. Maybe you have one arm up. Maybe you have two arms up. Maybe you have an arm at your waist. What is it that is that the Macarena where they do that with their hands? You're planting here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press into that foot. Bring yourself up. Give yourself a little celebration moment. And then we're totally cracking on with those glutes. So you're going to take your side bend. I'm just going to scoot my little knee rest over so that we can all see each other. So options, you can come all the way down onto that right arm if that feels really good for you. You can come onto your right forearm. You could come all the way down. Wherever feels reasonable for whatever's happening in your body, feel free to do it because the legs are going to be the same no matter what. So I'm a little teapot ourselves all the way over to that right side. We are weight bearing on that right arm. Feel wide across the tops of the shoulders, maybe left arm up, maybe gaze forward, maybe gaze down. Check in with those hips. Can we make sure the left hip is really nice and truly stacked on top of the bottom? When you're ready, we're so weighted on those hands and knees that that top leg can just float right on up there. Lower down to tap, and then exhale to lift it up. Keep firing through those glutes. Keep reaching out through those toes. That bottom waist is drawn in. We already know what it feels like to be in a side plank because we just worked one. Isn't that convenient for us? Lower down, tap. Exhale to lift. Now that top hip, I know for me, my side is very much like this, where it's going to want to roll back. So we really want to try to work that pelvic stability, which does require ab work, right? It does require, that's what our low abs do, is stabilize our pelvis. And I shouldn't say low abs because your transverse abdominis travels like your whole torso. So your deep abs is what I should say. And lift. Remembering we're trying to enjoy, asterisk on the trying, to enjoy the journey on the way up and the journey on the way down. It lengthens out and up. It lowers down. Let's go for 3. Shake, 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 shake. Let's go for 2. Now remember that arm is squeezing as well. Don't let those muscles take a break. Last 1. Maybe flex your foot as you pull your leg in 90 degrees. Maybe point your toes as you reach the leg back. Maybe keep your toes pointed as your leg comes in 90 degrees. Maybe flex as you reach it out and back. That's on that backwards diagonal, yeah? But wherever you are, we're trying to keep the relationship between our top of our shin and our top of our thigh. I have to laugh because it's just like so crazy, right? Keep pushing that floor away. Keep finding that side waist. My leg wants to cheat. 2 more. You can do it. I can do it. We can do it. Let's cheerlead each other. Last 1. Here we go. Pulse it up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. That was fun. Lord. All right, we're gonna just go for a quick little decompression of this. So if you do have a blanket, I recommend folding it up a little bit so you can give yourself sort of like a little booster seat. Let's take our right leg and cross it in front of our left. And then let's just melt ourselves down. Now know that your right leg has had a little bit of extra time to decompress from all of that work. So just like be kind to yourselves. We're not going to be here forever. Just taking a moment to sort of be like, well, that was a lot of fun. Bring yourself up. We will revisit a glute stretch. Don't worry, at the end of class together. I know sometimes we don't, but today we will. Whew, that left side. I'm gonna stay pretty high here. So again, your left side, we literally just worked, right? It hasn't had that much time to chill out. So feel free to be sweet to yourself here. Man, even just sitting cross-legged, it's like fire, 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 fire. All right, let's bring it up. Let's take it back. Let's give those legs a little shaky shake. And then grab your blanket again. So we're going to take our blankets and make them sort of like a sausage again. And if you have a hand towel, that'll work perfectly as well. I just want to roll it up so you have something to hang on to that you can kind of bunch up in your hands. We're going to be kneeling. So if you would like to roll up your mat or grab another blanket for underneath or a pillow for underneath your knees, please feel free. So if you reach your arms forward, about shoulder height, your palms are going to face down. What I would like us to do is still keep a hold on the blanket, but fold our hands so they face in. Does that make sense? So if you were to reach them straight out, your palms would be facing down. If you turn them a little bit, your palms are facing in. So you're making sort of like a draping curtain shape with those hands. Okay, they're about shoulder height. Shoulder height is the highest, and they're definitely going to be, if not a little bit wider than shoulder distance apart for the work here. Now, before we go anywhere else, we have the arms out. We have the palms facing each other. Can you squeeze into that blanket? And as you squeeze into the blanket, can you look at your arm muscles and be like, go gadget arm muscles, and turn them all on. Squeeze your arms. We're going to keep our arms under tension. Keep your arms under tension. Bend your elbows in towards your waist. And then keep your arms under tension. Reach those arms forward. Inhale to pull them in. And then exhale to reach out. Inhaling it in. Exhale, squeeze in and reach. As your arms come in, squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. As your arms go out, give them a nice inhaling it in here. Exhale out and reach. Inhale to pull them in. Exhale to reach. And so remember, we're never changing the tension. Well, okay, that's not true. The tension in our arms will change, and your goal as it's trying to change is to keep your arm muscles super fired up. Keep them turned on. Reach. Hug them in and reach. Hug them in and reach. Inhale. Exhale. We're going for 4. We're going for 3. Nice squeeze here for 2. Nice squeeze. One more time. You're going to squeeze. You're going to hold. I'm just going to change my angle. So ribs are drawn in. Glutes are on. We're up nice and tall. We're squeezing our arms. You're going to keep your arms straight. You're going to extra reach them forward. Remember, you're still squeezing your arm muscles. Keep your arm muscles on. You're going to slide your shoulder blades up towards your ears. You're going to keep squeezing. You're going to take the tops of the shoulders back as if they want to snuggle the spine. They find the spine and they snuggle all the way down. Massage your spine. Keep your palms facing and squeeze those arm muscles. They dip as low as they can get, and then they circle around and forward in space. Squeeze into those arms as they come back to that lovely protraction. Keep squeezing through your arms. Your shoulder blades are going to lift up. Keep squeezing through your arms. Your shoulder blades start to squeeze and snuggle down your spine. Crunch, 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 crunch. As they get as low as they can with the arms still squeezing, they circle down towards the floor and then forward. Keep squeezing the arms as they go. You find a lovely protraction here. And then they lift up. Keep squeezing the arms as they circle back and they retract down your spine. Keep squeezing the arms. One more time. Your shoulders and arms are on fire. Yeah, they're totally supposed to be. Forward and up. Don't worry, I totally know. And then back and around. And then take a little break. Whew. It's a lot of work happening through there. All right. Round dos. We're going to take those arms, the same setup, just round 2. Arms are forward, palms are facing in. We're squeezing through those arm muscles, yeah? So again, give a look-see at your arms and be like, oh yeah, I can tone them. I can totally turn them on. Let's pull our elbows in and then reach them forward. Squeeze them in and reach them forward. So we're really working on some really, really controlled, really, really specific movement through our shoulder girdle, movement through our scapula here, hugging in and then reach, hugging it in and then reach, hug it in and then reach. And then not only that, but because we're squeezing through the arms the whole entire time as much as you can, we're working on some really gorgeous tone through the arms as well. So even though we're not like using weights, even though we're not weight bearing, we're still able to create some really gorgeous tension here. Let's go for 4. Let's go for 3. Squeeze and reach. Let's go for 2. Squeeze and reach. One more time. Squeeze and reach. Hold it. Now we're going to reverse the circle that we did the first time. So slide the shoulder blades down towards the floor. Hug the tips of the shoulder blades at the lowest part of your spine that you can manage. Keep squeezing your arms. Snuggle all the way up your spine. Your shoulder blades will draw towards your ears. And then reach forward. So even though you're seeing the bulk of the movement happening in my arms, right, it's actually not. The movement is being initiated behind me. And because our shoulder girdle is connected to our shoulder, and that's where our arms are moving, they all work together. Keep squeezing the arms. I'm going to be honest, I'm definitely taking a bit of a not 100% effort here. So I'm going to join you at 100% for these last 3. Arms are shaking, up and around and forward. Let's go for 2. Squeeze the shoulder blades behind you. Squeeze your arms as you lift the shoulder blades up, and then they circle forward in space. Keep squeezing the arms. They are trembling. Fire, fire. Last one, all the way up, over, around. Reach them forward. You can drop your blanket sausage. You can give yourself a little zhuzh through those shoulders, yeah? Take a nice big breath in. Take a nice big breath out. Okay, super good news. Fun is definitely not over. When you're ready, grab a hold of that blanket sausage again. We're going to take the arms down nice and low. We're going to keep the shoulder blades not backwards, not forwards, just resting somewhere right in the middle. Our palms are going to face down this time. Take your breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to reach those arms up and forward. You're going to lower them down. You're going to reach them up and forward. Lower them down. Reach them up and forward. And every time you move here, can we show off through those armpits? We're going for 8. Lift it up. We're going for 7. Lift it up. And the whole time we're moving, same bit of business. We're squeezing those arm muscles. We're going for 4. We're going for 3. You have your biceps, your triceps on here, and then the muscles that run down your forearm. Last one. You're going to lift it up here. Now, I'm going to drop this just so that you can see me, but you're going to keep yours up. Can you super scoop through your pelvis? Keep those arms up. Draw your ribs down. Can you go for a bit of a hinge? Lean your body weight back just a little bit. For 2, for 1, fire your glutes. Pull yourself up. Lowering back for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, glutes, quads pull you up. Keep going. For 4, so you could have your arms up with your blanket. 3, keep showing off those muscles. 2, you could also have them at your chest. 1, pull yourself up. 2 more. Let's go back for 4. Let's go back for 3. Let's go back for 2. Last one, pull yourself up. You could totally have your blanket for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one, can you hold it here? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm going to bring my hands down so you can hear me. For 3, for 2, last one, bring it up. Wasn't that a fun surprise? Shake, 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 shake. All right, you can ditch your blanket sausage. We're going to flip onto our backs. This is my favorite tricep exercise, or favorite way to do triceps, I should say. Although I guess that's really saying the same thing. And we're going to lie down. Give yourself a second to just be like, whoa, here we are, back on the mat, feeling good. We've warmed up that movement through our shoulders. So I'm hoping that this feels accessible in a really positive way. We're going to reach those arms up. Now, up to you if you would like to make fists with your hands or keep them open. I'll let you experiment. We're going to take our palms and they're going to face in towards each other. And then they're going to continue their journey all the way around so that they turn and look behind you. Once they look behind you, can you flick out through your wrists? So you're showing off the fleshy inner part of your wrists. Now you're still squeezing your arms. Yeah, if someone were to come and poke your arms, they would be turned on. Fire, fire. Take those arms, reach them back behind you. And if you can get those biceps in line with your ears, amazing. If not, no big deal. But what I want you to pay attention to is what happened to your wrist. Did your knuckles flop down, or can you keep showing off that inner line of your wrist? You're going to bend your elbows, tap your heels of the hands on the floor. That's an impossible task. And then exhale, straighten the arms, but keep your biceps by your ears. Inhale to bend it down, and then exhale to reach. For whatever reason, the past couple of days, I've been feeling like I need to open my palms here, even though I usually teach this with a clenched fist. Oh, actually, that feels pretty good too. So experiment, yeah? Now know that you are working parts of your arms that maybe are feeling a bit tight if you've been sitting and typing a ton. Yeah, if you've been working from home, maybe more so than you usually would. Bending down. And then squeeze. And because we're working the whole musculature of the arm, although yes, this is triceps here, extending your arm out for you, there's still work happening. We're still squeezing through our bicep. We're still working down through our forearm. Even your hands, right? Like bringing your hands into extension, your wrists into extension like that. Lots going on here. Let's go for 4. Reach it out and up. Now, if that doesn't work for you, you could always come to kneeling or seated, yeah? And work this way. Let's go for 2. Reaching it up. One more time. Reach the arms up, bring them down. Give yourself a moment to just chill out. Breathing in here. Breathing it out. Maybe give your wrist a little shake. It's good to work all of the musculature in our body, yeah? All right, last set. Let's take the arms up. This is our grand finale together. Turn the palms to face in. And I didn't mention this on the first side, but if you can, pay attention to your torso still. Yeah, we still want the ribs connected to the body. We still want to keep a home-based pelvis if that's possible. Turn the palms to face in and then rotate them back behind you. Give a little flex to, or the extension, to those wrists so you can show off the fleshy inner part of your wrists. Take your arms back by your earlobes if you can, and then bending and tapping palms / heel of the hands to the floor, and then reach it back. Now, of course, your body is your body, right? So there could be things happening that I can't see you because of how we're practicing together today, but there could be things that I haven't mentioned, right? So feel free, even though I'm talking about like, this is happening this way and this way and this way, like completely your body, your choice. So if something's not working, feel free to freestyle it out. Let's go for 4. Oh, my triceps are on fire. Let's go for 3. Reach it out and back. Let's go for 2. One more time. Reach them up, bring them down. Whew, my arms are toasty. I don't know about you, but mine are toasty. Let's give those legs a little windshield wiper while we're here. A little rock side to side. And then we're going to rock all the way over to one side, bring ourselves up to seated. If you like having a little bit of extra support, feel free to grab that blanket back again. It really is pretty cool, eh? Like using things in our house, how we can amplify our experience of moving our bodies. And we don't need like fancy things. We already have the things that we can use. Okay, let's bring ourselves down. So we're just going to revisit a bit of a glute stretch here. So you can cross your right leg in front of your left, and you're just going to curl your chin in towards your chest, walk your hands down and forward, and maybe you find that you have a little more range now, right? Because we're not just like in the thick of having worked it out. It's had time to sort of like, which is good, right? We don't want to give it's confusing to our body signals if we work something really, really hard and then just immediately try to stretch it, right? Like it doesn't super know where to go. Whereas if we give it time, it will. Taking those hands, walking them over to the left. Feel the right side of your hip and your waist drawing back, scooping through your belly. Nice breath here. A breath that cultivates a bit of softness, a bit of space. And then walking your hands through center, bring yourself all the way up. And we're just gonna take a side bend. So planting your right hand down, left arm comes up, side bend over. Bring yourself up. Let's also take those hands back behind us. And can you give your chest a little bit of a lift here as well? Chin can stay down. You don't have to like throw your head back or anything. Whew, doesn't feel good. Don't do that. And then walk ourselves up. Let's crisscross applesauce the other way. Left leg in front, sitting up nice and tall, and then chin in towards our chest. Let's walk our hands forward in space. And again, notice how maybe you have more range now than the last time you were here. Our bodies are so smart, honestly. Like, I really love continuing my education, and I'm constantly taking courses in anatomy and physiology and mindfulness and whatnot as well. But I really love like body chem and biomechanics and all that stuff. And truly, the more I learn, the more I'm like, how did this happen? Like, we're just became these incredibly intelligent beings, and we get to move our bodies in space. And like, how cool is that? Walk your hands over to the right. As your hands go to the right, your left hip draws back. Like the things that just happen in our bodies that are so automatic, these really intelligent systems. It's like mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Walk your hands all the way back to center. Bring yourself all the way back up, right? Plant your left hand down by your left hip. Take that nice side bend over. Bring yourself all the way up. Take those hands, bring them back behind your hips. Give yourself a nice lift up through the chest. And then walk those hands forward. Can we inhale together? Reach those arms up overhead. Breathe it out. Give yourself a nice squeeze. As always, thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide for your Pilates practice today. It's always a pleasure. Please feel free to send me a message or an email. All of those things are like super, super welcome. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Thank you. Woohoo.